All right, what is up, everybody? Coming back at you with another video on the channel, and we have got an awesome new knife to check out today. So this dropped about a week or so ago. I've been breaking it in, trying to get my thoughts together before doing a video. So obviously we have got the Brian Brown Yeager M V3. Yeager M, one of my favorite knives of all time, for sure in the top 5. Just a classic design. The V1s were done OEM'd by We Knife Co. The V2 right here, which I have, OEM'd by Riot. You can see here, this was just a plain bead blasted one, and I have a murdered out one. I switched the hardware and stuff on it, and I like how that turned out. So V2 here, obviously this is a flipper model. I have 2 flipper model V2s. This is now the V3. So this is the American Edge exclusive Gecko carbon fiber model. Let's get a close up here. Got that beautiful belt satin M390 hollow ground blade. There you go. You can see that nice diamond there. Is that a scratch on the end? Nope. That's how the grind lines go. Maybe. Yeah, that's grind lines. Okay. Beautiful, nice cutout hole. So one of the changes made was the pivot. And this is kind of his pivot island style, which he also did on the Corvus. Where's my other Corvus? Here we go. Okay, I got 2 Corvuses. 3 Yeagers, 2 Corvuses. Makes sense. Math. Let's get this one out of here. Bring these down. So on the Corvus, he did also a pivot island here. You can see, and it's also a satin pivot island, which is pretty cool with that blue inlay around it. And you have the pivot collar on the back side. So the way this works, there's your pivot barrel is connected to this screw, and it screws into the pivot island. So when you undo this, the pivot island just pops off this side. I've taken my Corvuses apart, never really had an issue. I know Lefty EDC made a video with the new Yeager. He had the exact same one. I guess he had some issues with it. I didn't run into those, but I think his screw on this side came undone from the pivot barrel, which I could see that being an issue. Do a little switcheroo here. So from the V2 to the V3, not many changes. I mean, he's got a great design, obviously. He just wanted to switch a few things up. So he went to the pivot island. You can see from your standard pivot with a collar. Went to the pivot island. The inlays, I don't have a V2 inlay. The front side's the same, but on the back side, on the V2s, you just had a little inlay right here. Obviously here we've got a full-sized inlay, which, nice touch. The last change is right here. You have a T15 instead of a T8. I don't think you needed that. I have personally never stripped a T8. This may be a T10 actually. Never stripped a T8, and never even came close to stripping a T10. Even with super glue, a T10 would probably be fine. Now, Lefty EDC also said he had some issues with the tooling on this. So I haven't taken this one apart because it's perfect out of the box. The tooling looks fairly deep, but we'll see if I do take it apart, if we end up with any issues there. So this is the American Edge exclusive with the Gecko carbon fiber. Let's bring it up close here. There you go. Beautiful blade. And this Gecko carbon fiber, guys, is just sweet. This backside, I wish this backside was the front side. There's a lot more blue on the backside here. Pocket clip's the same, so a lot of it's the same. Just made a few improvements. Now, this first run he did was all exclusives. So he sold 2 Damasteel options, 1 plain Jane Damasteel blade, and 1 with the Tiffany fat carbon inlay Damasteel on his website. But everything else was an exclusive. Let's see, DLT had 1, St. Nick's Knives, E-Knives, Knife Joy. I know there's more I'm missing. River's Edge Cutlery. So this with the inlay, with the carbon fiber, was $3.99. E-Knives had a plain Jane flipper with zirconium accents. It was like $5.15. And River's Edge Cutlery, it was just jig titanium. Was $4.75. Now Smoky Mountain Knife Works got a frag pattern for $3.99, but a lot of dealers were charging pretty high prices on these for what you're getting, in my opinion. These, when they came out, were $3.50 to $4, depending on what you got. It's crazy to me that the carbon fiber inlay was $100 less than no inlay with zirconium. That should offset there, if you ask me. But this was the only, I think only 2 dealers got non-flippers, American Edge and Knife Joy. I've actually got, this was actually a V2 Knife Joy exclusive, blacked out, but I took the plain hardware off of this knife and put it on this one, and I kind of like that, how that looks there. They had the same thing. They had a non-flipper, but it was the same as the Raptor exclusive with Timascus backspacer clip and collar. And those were 500 and something. But I wanted a non-flipper, as with my big ham hands. The ergos aren't perfect with that flipper tab kind of in the way there. Let me show you here. My pinky's kind of hanging. And you can kind of choke up, but you gotta be real careful not to catch the edge there. But with that flipper tab out of the way, I can choke up right there, and it feels really, really comfortable to me. Nice and natural there. I kind of put my middle finger in the dip, and that's super comfortable for me. I also like, oops, hit my camera. Also like the look of the non-flipper. Little different, but it, you know, nice and clean. I did have a V2 non-flipper with the natural micarta inlay, the EDC Foundry exclusive. I had that one, but I sold it. But the fit and finish on these, in my opinion, is spectacular. Riot killed these. You know, a few months back, I made a video talking about Riot's QC issues and then possibly slipping as the premier Chinese OEM. In my opinion, I've had quite a few Riot knives since then. They've really turned that around. I really think they've stepped their game up. They've improved QC, slipped there for a second, but they're right back at it. I've got 6, 7 Riot knives since then and not had a single issue. So hopefully my couple issues back to back were flukes. But yeah, so overall, extremely happy with this knife. There's a million reviews on Yeagers out there. I kind of wanted to just show off the V3 and show the differences there. And I am extremely pleased with this knife. This is one that's not going anywhere. One of my favorites. I'm going to get all of my favorite Brian Brown knives together here. There we go. I'm going to put my extras on the side. There we go. So how's that for a lineup, huh? I enjoy my Brian Brown knives, guys. I really do. That'd be a good thumbnail right there, huh? So, But yeah, that's basically it. Just a quick overview of the V3 Yeager. Not much has changed, so everything else from the V2 reviews is going to be the same, except the pivot collar, the inlay, and the pivot hardware. So that's that. One more quick thing. My next review here is going to be the Vosteed RS Chaos, aka the Mayhem. Got this in the other day, and I gotta tell you guys, I might be in love here. This thing is freaking awesome. For the money on this thing, for what you're getting, M390 titanium, built like a tank, super cool locking mechanism. I really dig everything about this thing. This lock they've got going on, kind of like a smock. Awesome. D10's good. So yeah, check out the review on this coming soon. Check out some of my other videos. Subscribe to the channel, like this video, and you have yourself a great day.